everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. I am Rachelle Henry. I'm an actor, writer, director, producer. I'm a proud Young Artists Academy alumni, and we are so happy to have you here for the Personal Branding Fashion Speech Choices panel.
Hi guys. I'm so
Hello
happy
guys.
to
I am
You're all amazing. So should we just introduce ourselves?
Hello everybody. I am Brandin Stennis. Let me see.
Oh, did Brandin freeze?
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hey, Brandin. See. He frozen?
Uh-oh.
Well, how about we go to Trinity next?
Hi, I'm Trinity Rose. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I've been part of the music industry for a while, so I'm glad that I get to share my experiences today.
Happy to have you. Let's go to Gabrielle.
Hi everyone, my name is Gabrielle Neveah Green. I'm an actor and comedian, and I'm so excited to be here with you all.
We're so happy to have you. How about we go to Brandin? Is your mic working?
Hopefully it's working now. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I am Brandin Stennis. I'm an actor, influencer, and dancer, and I'm happy to see all of you guys.
Yeah. All right, Parker, you're next.
Hi, I'm Parker James Fullmore, and I'm an actor, dancer, and singer.
Woohoo! Well, I'm so honored to be a part of this panel with all of you guys. You guys are so talented, and so I think that this is a really great opportunity for us to all share our insight and to help other young artists who are wanting to learn more. And I think we all have something to share. So where do we want to start?
So, I mean, what do you guys run into a lot? Because we're both, we're all just younger. We haven't been here for, years. Actually, maybe some of us have, because I'm sure basically everyone's been doing what they've been doing since, they were in diapers, essentially. So, I guess let's start with the first discussion, the unseen parts of show business. So as a kid, we have to handle a lot of rejection and managing our time because we have school and stuff. Do you guys go to homeschool, or if you are in public school, how do you even manage your time like that?
Well, for me, I am a college student, and so for me, but I did online school starting in 5th grade because for the first few years of school, having to leave to go to auditions and dance and singing and, gymnastics, all the different things that I was rehearsing for, it took a lot of time. And so I then went to online school, which really helped me so I could manage my time, and I was able to find ways to, if I had an audition in the morning, I would go back home and then I would do my homework there. If I ever had to go set, bring my textbooks and things with me. And kind of the same thing with college. I try to manage my time with it that way. Yeah, time management's a really big thing, and sometimes it can be really hard because sometimes, your time just is juggled in a way that doesn't seem easy.
Exactly. I mean, I've had a few times where my show went late and I'm like, I can't go to school tomorrow because it's 2 a.m. and I just got home. So I'm lucky sometimes where I get to sleep in because my parents are amazing. But other times I just wake up in the morning and I'm like, ugh, I can't believe I go to full-time school.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of like me. So sometimes my schedule changes because sometimes I do plays and we have late night rehearsals. Sometimes I have auditions right after school. So it just goes in and out. And for me, it's really just trying to manage everything and trying to get done homework as soon as possible. I go to public school, so it's not really that easy to manage everything. So sometimes I do have to sleep in. I love my mom. She's so, I guess, I don't know what the word is. I guess she's very easy to work with when it comes to acting and managing school at the same time. And yeah, it's kind of my situation.
Nice.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I think in general, working in the television industry, it's really hard to keep up with those academics and keep up with those extracurricular activities. But I've been very fortunate. I've been homeschooled since 7th grade, and I think I'm finally getting the hang of it, which is great. But it's been a blast so far. But time management, you really do have to have a tight schedule and really know what you're doing at what time to keep yourself on track.
Exactly. Exactly.
We have our other panelists, Mallian, Butler. Hello.
Hi.
Down and talking about time management, how we work in school, all of that. So maybe you could introduce yourself and tell us how you manage school as an entertainer.
Hi guys, I'm Mallian, and I manage school as an entertainer by keeping a schedule with me at all times and making sure that I'm staying balanced and doing everything that I need to do to stay organized, even talking with my parents or my management team.
If you don't have a joint calendar with your entire family just to know exactly what you're doing, it is so helpful, because sometimes I just look through the day and I'm like, what's happening?
Right.
It's very helpful.
Yeah.
All right, Parker, how about you?
Yeah, so back when I was playing Billy Elliot, I first did it when I was in 4th grade. So I wouldn't get home until 10 o'clock. And back then that was like the latest I could stay up. So I'd pass out like immediately and, I'd sleep in. So I was lucky enough to have my mom, let me like either skip a day at school or take me into school. And then I tried homeschooling in 7th grade because I moved to Pennsylvania and Florida in the same year. So homeschooling
Wow.
definitely helped there, but I've been in public school basically my whole life.
Nice.
Wow.
It's all about circumstance, really.
It really is. And I mean, managing time, not only as an entertainer, but as a student and a kid, trying to make sure every one of those things has, a good share of time can be really tricky. So, how about we talk about how our social media affects our job? Because we are constantly in the limelight. People search us, people follow us, they see our work everywhere, they see what we post. So how do we talk about how we stay responsible with our posting, things to do, things not to do, all that jazz?
Right. Well, I stay responsible with posting by only posting positive things and inspirational things. And because if you post something that's like negative, it's going to stay out there forever. And you don't want to risk it resurfacing around the internet and coming back to hurt your career. So always post positive things, because once it's out there forever.
Yeah, and it's even more important because a lot of us have really young audiences. So you have to be a good inspiration to them, because they do look up to you and they do really care about how you present yourself.
Yes. I guess kind of what you guys said, you really have to post positive, inspirational stuff, especially if you're an influencer. So you can influence your audience on positive things, and you don't want stuff resurfacing, as Mally said, where you can be canceled, or you don't want anything bad happening. So you always want to be super positive and just post great things that are great to put out there. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I completely
I always
agree.
post. Oh, sorry, no, you can go.
Oh, no. Oh, okay, cool. I was just saying I completely agree with that. But when you're posting on social media, just think, would you say this in front of a producer? Would you say this in front of a director? Because nowadays, social media is your very first impression. Even before you go into that audition room, they're most likely going to check your social media platforms. So it's really important that you do post things that are a positive representation of yourself and your business and your brand.
Because I mean, as influencers, we are our brand. So, and yeah, we're in the entertainment business, so it's very important how you present yourself with really any business.
Yeah, I have to say positive, and you can't post anything that can be like taken as controversial, because people will take that and run.
Right.
Yeah, we live in a very close-up world now with the internet, so you have to be very conscious of what you do and what you say.
Right. And I mean, for all the entertainers out there, if you're not sure about a post, if you're not sure if it's too controversial or something, reach out to a parent or a guardian or someone you trust before posting. I know sometimes I go to my family and I'm like, how is this? Even if it's just like slight, like how it's worded, just to make sure that nothing can be interpreted wrong. So just always make sure that you do check it with someone if you think that there's a possibility that it could be taken the wrong way, even if you do not mean it at all.
Especially with very sensitive topics. Like if you're working with charity, you always want to make sure I'm saying the right thing, I'm promoting the right thing, and I understand like exactly like what I'm promoting, really. Same thing with sponsorships. You got to be very particular about what you present, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what do you guys think about like engaging with fans, and how do you think that should go?
Well, I think for me, it's extremely fun for me to engage with my fans, especially during being on lockdown. I feel it's been extremely important for me to reach out to people and to just create that positive place that people can come to. Like every Wednesday, I've been going live on my Instagram, and that's been a really safe place for people to come and just to get their mind off of things and just to have fun. So I think it's really important to engage with your fans in a positive way, especially when, you know, things can be kind of tough.
And I couldn't agree more, especially, you know, since we are on lockdown, there's no excuse to not engage with your fans and give them what they want. So going live is a very good thing. But here's what I was saying. So we're all gonna get to a point in our careers where we have a lot of status. And let's say, for example, you have a very important meeting that you need to attend and you're swarmed by your fans, but you should always be polite to them and always let them know in the politest way ever that you have somewhere to be, but also thank them for supporting you, because without your fans are the reason you are where you are in the industry.
Exactly.
Yes.
Fully agree.
Yeah. And so I constantly like DM my fans, but if they DM me, it's like reaching out to them. I think that's fun to have conversations. And then when I played Billy Elliot, it's a lot different in theater because they can walk up to your stage door and they can talk to you. So it doesn't matter if I'm tired, like I just want to go home, or I had a really bad day. I have to engage with them, and I enjoy engaging with them, and I appreciate them coming out. And I just have to engage, and I just enjoy talking to them after like a show, and it's cool seeing the people. Yeah, the people who made me where I am.
Yeah, I think fan engagement is really important. For me personally, I've met several celebrities and they've been super, super kind to me when I meet them. So that kind of inspires me if I ever become famous or if anything ever happens, that you always have to be super kind and welcoming to your fans, because as one of the panelists earlier said, if it wasn't for your fans, you wouldn't be where you are today. So when it comes to engagement, you always want to be super kind and welcoming. And I guess that's my take on it.
Exactly, for sure. I mean, when you do talk to a fan, I mean, they're looking up to you and there's something that was inspiring about what you do to them. I mean, I know some of the celebrities I've met, you know, I have to tell them that, you know, one of their works really inspired me. And so, I mean, they look up to you. So always remember to be kind to them. They're one of the reasons why you are where you are. And so, you know, they're just, you know, be kind to your fans and, you know, definitely engage with them so they know that, you know, you're with them. I mean, it's a team. I mean, if there wasn't them, you know, you wouldn't be where you are. It's kind of a teamwork thing.
Right.
Some of them can be just so sweet. Like,
That's so true.
The nicest people that like really they like what I do, and I get to talk to them, and you just discover that they're their own people, and they discover that you're your own person, and you can make amazing friendships through that. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be appreciative towards your fans for, because they support everything you do. They're the first ones to like and comment and share. So yeah, back to what I was saying before, they're the reason you have all of the status you have in the industry.
Right. Exactly. Well, let's talk about one that we all know, rejection.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
We know it.
Yeah. So rejection, I would definitely say for a young artist wanting to get into the business, I would say there's going to be a lot of that, a lot of rejection, and a lot of no's. I know everybody says it, but for all the 100 no's that you're going to get, that one yes is the only thing that matters. So I would say, you know, don't take anything too personally. You know, when you go in that audition room, you never know how the casting director is feeling. You know, they might have just had a breakup. They might have, you know, their dog might have just died that day. So maybe they're in a bad mood. And, I wouldn't take anything negative that they have to say too personally, but definitely put it towards your work. Use it as constructive criticism, not as a no, just as a not yet.
Yeah.
Right.
In a lot of
Yeah.
cases in acting, there's so many factors to why you're not cast. There's like, oh, you're too tall, or just like you didn't like. There's always like something really nitpicky. It's like no matter what you do, it's not going to matter in the end, and you're going to find something that's absolutely perfect for you.
Right. And rejection all comes down to the way you respond to it. Because when I first started off in acting and I was when I didn't get the part for certain things, I used to be kind of upset about it and kind of, keep on beating myself up about what I did wrong. But I decided to release that and tell myself, hey, congratulations to whoever got the part. It was meant for them to get it. And I'm going to take whatever I needed to improve on and use it for my future auditions.
Exactly. It's all about what
Yeah.
For me, it's really just been trying to keep positive. So when I started, I got a whole bunch of no's, and then from there, I would sort of from there, it would negatively affect my other auditions. So I would start doing less work on my other auditions. I would do less practice and less effort. And that's not the mindset you have to have. Eventually, I came to the right mindset where it has to be, you have to put the same effort into every single audition you get so that you can start turning those no's into yeses. You have to keep positive energy and you have to keep going to achieve your goal. And eventually you will achieve what you want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even if you get a no, you have to understand that, you probably did your best work in that audition, so you just have to be proud of what you do and move on to the next one like it never happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best stories I know about someone who initially was rejected from a casting office just because they weren't right for the one role is the lead guy from the series Prison Break. He went in, they loved his work, but he was not right for the role. Years later, they cast him as the lead. So it doesn't mean if you don't get this one job, it doesn't mean that casting director or producer or director doesn't want you. You just aren't right for this project. So, I have where I don't work for one project, years later I work for another. So you never know.
Yes. And I always say no means next. So just move on to the next thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there's a thing called booking the room where it's like you might not book the role, but if you like show your talent and your how you show yourself, you're kind to them, if you show that you're a good person and you're good at what you do, you're going to book the room and they're going to know who you are. You're going to be on their radar. They have your resume now.
Yeah.
And, you don't know what will come from it. It can be like a lead role like that.
Exactly.
That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys have to say? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay, so what do you guys have to say about preparation? Because I think preparation is very important, especially when it comes to auditions and interviews. And when you're prepared, things flow so smoothly. So what do you guys have to say about that?
I always study if there's a scene I have to do. I always study it like the day I get it, and I just study it until I go to sleep, and then sleep on it, and then try and get it in the morning. Because whenever I sleep on it, I always get it in my head better. And then, I always look up who's ever's in the room. Like sometimes with certain auditions, you'll get a sheet of everyone who's in the room. So I try and do Google searches, become familiar with who they are, what they've worked on, and then try and create a personal connection with the person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But speaking on preparation, even after you book the job, it's extremely important that you come to work prepared. You don't want to come across as unprofessional because, they can get rid of you like that. So you got to keep your job. I like to always pretend that every single day that I go to work, I'm auditioning again, so that I always perform at that same level that they first met me at. You know what I mean? So when you're on set specifically, you've got to have those lines down. You've got to, go in there with the intentions that you prepared prior to, hopefully the night before. But definitely be prepared and don't be unprofessional on set. It's not a good look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've done a few things in the case of singing and performance, live performance, that's a totally different thing I've discovered from acting, because you have to practice that song over and over and over again. So when you're at the huge thing, you are ready. And no matter what happens, you know that you're prepared and you've got that, it's almost natural at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost automatic.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's always better to come prepared with the scripts, especially in auditions, because then you know the character better. You get to play with the character, you get to have fun with the character, and then you can come into your audition form prepared with a better mindset, and you have a better chance of booking them. And it's not just auditions, as Gabrielle, Gabby said. It's also when you go to work. So if you're not prepared at work, they can easily replace you, as she said. So kind of that same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. In addition to that, just really quickly, along with preparation, you got to be on time as well. That comes with being prepared. Account for that extra traffic sway that may happen in the morning. Account for that, mishap with your toothbrush or whatever it is. You gotta be on that time management, like we spoke about earlier with school. That also applies in everything in acting. Time management is really key in preparation, getting the job, all of those good things. So always come to set on time as well.
Mhm.
Exactly. I mean, preparation is such a key part of what we do. I mean, it's like any other job. Like, let's say, like football players, they train, they prepare, they do the drills, they work really hard on it. And our business is the same thing. We work hard on it. We constantly are learning, constantly growing, always preparing. So if you want to be an actor or an entertainer or a singer, preparation is such a key part of it. So
Right.
so let's talk also about, because this is personal branding, how we behave in public and in the public
Mhm.
eye. Because I think that our attitude and how we act is pretty important.
Yeah. So my brand, like I said, is spreading positivity. So even if I'm having a bad day, even if I'm stressed out, there's no excuse to be rude to anybody. Always keep a smile, be positive, because you never know who's in the room and you never know who's watching you.
Definitely. And I know for me, I'm such a positive person, and I know that there are celebrities out there that put on a mask and present themselves as an alternate version of themselves to their fans and to important people. I don't do that
Mhm.
because I feel it's extremely important to show people who you are and
Yeah.
your your actual heart and your actual self, because that's how people are going to like you. They like you. They don't like the alternate version of yourself. And I think it's really important to just treat people with kindness. It goes back to that kindergarten rule, treat people how you want to be treated. And that's why I like kindergartners so much, because they learn the basic rules of life. And as we get
Yeah.
older, we basically we forget them sometimes. But if you spend a little time around a kindergartner, you go, hey, that's really true. Maybe I do need to rethink this. Maybe I do need to say hi to this person. So it's really important that you're just kind to people as well.
Mhm.
Exactly. Also, we all know, like with Young Artist Academy, how we handle ourselves at red carpets and award shows and different events. So, how about we talk a little bit about like our preparation, how we get there, everything about how we behave with that and what those mean to us as entertainers.
Yeah, I think you
Well,
always have to be like, you have to be positive to the other people and you have to be kind to them. I mean, I'm a little shy, so like I like Zoom meetings where I don't have to actually interact with people. But like in real life, I get like kind of clammy, I get kind of nervous. So I have to build up courage sometimes, and you also have to present yourself nicely. Even if you don't have fancy clothes, like wearing nice clothes, something that's not like a graphic t-shirt, because that like that's an image that will stick with them for a while. So you want to give off like a good, if it's a first impression, first impressions matter the most. So
yeah.
wear nice clothes, be polite to that person. Maybe like offer something, like sometimes I'll offer a postcard to like something I'm doing, or like an information slip, something like that. And you just like basically build off of a first impression during those events.
Right.
I agree. And make sure you're always positive and you're always being your most genuine self, because people appreciate who you actually are. And like Gabby said, don't put on a filter. Be who you are, because that's people want to get to know you for who you really are.
Exactly.
Right. And
Yeah.
when you do have on that sort of filter like appearance, people are going to call that out. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because you can't keep that on forever. And, you know, especially at red carpets, if it is your first red carpet, wear something that best represents you, but is also nice at the same time, because those images that are produced from those red carpets will stick with you for a very long time. Like, I even look back now on some of my very first red carpets, and I'm like, huh, I don't even remember this, but apparently it's there. You know what I mean? So be sure you are wise with your outfit choices, and you're kind to the photographers and the interviewers. And also, if you're going to be interviewed, be sure to have talking points. That way you're not caught off guard. If you're on a show, be sure to, you know, the background of your show, know your character, know all of those great things, and, you know, just be kind.
Yeah. For me, red carpet events have been really good for branding with people, talking to new people, meeting new people. So you always want to be super kind to everybody involved with the event. You want to be kind to the photographers. You want to be kind to the people who put on the event. You want to be kind to the interviewers. You want to be kind to everybody, because you don't know who's in the room. You don't know who's there. So for me, it's just been they're really good opportunities for amazing things. I remember I was interviewing on a red carpet one time, and I met this play director, and from there we've done 5 plays with huge celebrities, with large audiences. So they're just amazing opportunities. So you always want to be kind to everybody, and you want to take it as same thing as an audition. You want to be prepared. You want to dress nice. You want to you just want to be and be your true self. As Gabby said, you want to be don't be fake. Don't put on a fake version of yourself. And I'm like running with my words, so I'm gonna stop talking. But that's kind of
like on that point, I was gonna say that a lot of it is building relationships. I mean, I want to be friends with my fellow nominees if I'm at an award ceremony. Like this last year at Young Artist Academy, I actually met a few kids that were in the same nominated for the same awards as me, and we actually started talking and we're collabing on a project. I mean, why not? We can always work and grow together. I mean, one of my acting coaches, you know, years ago told me, don't wait, create. So you might as well, you know, make friends, make genuine friendships there, and, you know, try to make something together, because you never know where that can lead.
Yeah,
And
a lot of people treat, you can go.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Okay, so a lot of people treat this industry as if it's a competition, and it should not be. Like, how you befriend the people in your category, that's amazing. A lot of people wouldn't do that. And it's so important that it's not a competition. We're all here. There's enough room for everyone. And we all want to get to know each other. We all want to collaborate, because we're just going to make each other better.
Right. And be sure to do your research before these things. Know your like red carpet events and things of that nature. Be sure you know who the players in the room are. Be sure you know who to give your business cards to. And also, another reason why doing your research is very important, because if you don't do your research and the attire is black tie and you show up in jeans and a t-shirt, that's not going to be so good, and you're kind of cheapening their brand. So make sure you always do your research, look stuff up. You might even have to make a phone call or send an email, but just make sure you're completely 100% prepared.
Mm-hmm. It's very important how you show up, how you act, knowing, because if you don't prepare like for a possible question, that's going to be the question they're going to ask you.
Yes.
Always you're not prepared for that you're suddenly asked, and you have to quickly come up with a response if you haven't already given some thought to it. So I think that's a pretty important part of it. Also, something that we face as artists is, you know, our creative content and owning our intellectual property, the things we own, the things we make, you know, how we express it and protect that. So how about we all talk about how we, you know, protect our image, and how we also can help build our image together and build our image, you know, as ourselves.
I think it's extremely important to support what you feel is right, and I feel it's extremely important to support causes that you relate to, but there is a way about going about it. You know, you have to do your research, you have to know all of the ins and outs before you make that one post that's going to be out there forever. Going back on social media, you really do have to be careful with social, because it can come back and bite you in the butt. So that's a big thing about protecting your brand. But in addition to that, you have to be able to say no. And that's a big thing in this industry. It's perfectly okay to say, no, I'm not comfortable with this, or no, thank you, as long as you're polite about it, whether it's with a branding deal or a collaborating idea somebody may have. If it doesn't speak to who you are as a person, and if you don't feel like it's going to be a positive impact on your brand, it's perfectly okay to say no, thank you.
Right. And expressing and promoting what your content is, I support that all the way. I even do that. But protecting it is a very big deal, because you don't want to give somebody else the opportunity to say, I came up with this first. This was my idea. So you have to protect that like it's your baby.
I would also, if you make your own content, constantly keep checking up on it. Recently, I Google searched something and I saw one of my films pop up and somebody claimed it was theirs. So I had to go and, put in a claim saying that I own the copyright on it. And so just like keep checking up on it, because you never know who is going to try to take an image, take a product and say that what you did in your hard work is theirs. So always check up on it.
Right.
Now, I see that we are pretty much done with our time, but I just want each of you to all just, give one last word of advice before we go.
I would definitely say to a young artist that's willing to get into the business, I would say just make sure it's what you really, really want to do, because this is going to monopolize your time. This is going to monopolize your life. This will change a lot of things about your lifestyle. You may have to move away from your family. You may have to move away from your friends. You may lose friends because of this, because of your career choice, and you have to be mentally stable, and you have to make sure that this is really what you want to do, because it's going to be a big sacrifice, especially in the beginning. But at the end of the day, if this is what you really want to do, it's going to be worth it.
I want to say, keep your head up, follow your heart, always do your best, and treat every audition like it's your first. And sometimes you're going to have to be you're going to have to stick out like a sore thumb. Sometimes you're going to have to be unique and different, but why fit in when you were born to stand out? So always be you.
Exactly. I mean, I have a thing that I say, because people ask, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that in the industry. And I'm like, okay, you need two things to start out. You need passion, and you need to be hardworking. You need to have both of those, because you need passion to work hard, and you need to work hard to achieve your passion.
Right.
Yeah, I would say stay positive and support the people around you. And thank you, Young Artist Awards.
Yes.
And I'm gonna end it off with saying, if you're gonna be in this business, you have to enjoy it. Don't put yourself down over your ups and downs. There's gonna be so many bad times, but you have to just enjoy it, because it's gonna be a crazy time. So enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what I was gonna say is work hard, enjoy what you do, and keep supporting fellow artists around you. Become friends with your fellow artists, make your own content, do whatever you have to get that creative juice going and to keep building yourself as a brand. So thank you so much, Young Artist Academy and Z Star, for having us. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
ENTbash.
Thank you guys.
Thank you all so much.
Amazing talking to you guys.
Bye. It was wonderful seeing you all.
Bye.
Bye.